So today we'll be looking at title problems in real estate. So our topic is handling title related problems in real estate investment. So before we go into how to handle the problem, let us first of all understand what are the likely problems a land title can have, a land or house, any property at all. What are the problems it can have? Number one is boundary dispute. So under it, we have disagreement over property lines. It can create a title issue. Inaccurate survey can also cause these problems. So if the survey work indicating the beacons on the land is not correct, it can lead to what? Title problem. We are all aware of boundary dispute here and there when people come together, or you find a property, it has boundary dispute. What this thing simply means is that the lines demarcating the area of the property are not correct. Maybe it's encroaching on other people's property, and this can be as a result of survey problem. Okay, lanes. So I hope we know what lanes are by now. They are legal claims against a property due to unpaid debt. Example is mechanic liens. Mechanic liens is if a contractor, let's say the contractor that built this house has not been fully paid, he can put a lien on the property, say, look, this property, I'm being owed some amount of money on this. You understand? The person is making claim. Mechanic liens is simply liens that is placed by a contractor, the person that worked on the building. It could be civil works, any type of work at all. Then tax liens are liens placed by tax. Maybe a property has a tax that is supposed to be paid and it has not been paid. Example, ground rent. We are aware of recent revocation of some properties in this Abuja due to what? The people who own the property, they did not pay ground rent. Then we have legal liens. Maybe the property has undergone, there have been some litigation on the property. Maybe the lawyer that was involved on the property was not paid. He can put a lien to it. Do you understand? Or even in the process of acquiring the property, you engage the services of a lawyer, for example, or the outcome of a court judgment say that so and so person should be paid, the other party should be paid certain amount of money so that he can free the property to another party. If that money is not paid, they can put a lien on it, and that comes under legal. So encumbrances, sometimes people just use the word encumbrances. Encumbrances is just one aspect a title, a property title can have. As we have seen, apart from this listed here, there are other things that can come as problem relating to the title. So restrictions or claim that affect the property use. Examples: easement, right of way granted to others. Restrictions, limitation on how the property can be used. I think sometimes we discuss this in the course of our training. Somebody can be selling a property for you and put a clause that, for example, this land should not be used to build a church or a mosque. Do you understand me? It could be a problem. Or this property, this house I'm selling for you cannot be used for commercial purposes. It's only for residential. Can you see that it has already resulted in encumbrances on the property? Next slide. Okay, inaccurate public record. Mistakes in property records such as incorrect names or legal description can cloud the title. Example, the name in the title document should be the same in the national identification number in case of individual in Nigeria. Do you understand me? We have seen situations whereby somebody has a property, the name in the property he's holding is different from the name in the ID card he's having. Can you see the problem? Because if you buy a property from somebody, or either an individual or a company, at the end of the day, you need to do what? You need to perfect the title. What do we mean by perfecting the title? You take the documents, the original documents, deed of assignment, power of attorney, everything. If it is in Abuja, you go to Aegis to register the property so that anybody who is making inquiry on the property will be duly advised that the property belongs to you. If you have not done that, the name on the title of the property is still belonging to the person that the property was allocated in the first place. So if you are going through that process, part of the thing they will ask is that you bring the identity card of the person that the property was initially allocated to. And so if the property title is bearing different name from the identity card you are presenting, you have some problem. Do you understand me? So also, if you take a typical title document, you find out that there are some legal terms on it. So in most cases, those who are not in the legal profession, they may not understand it. That is why in some cases, or in most cases, if you want to buy a property, involve a lawyer. There are some terms on those documents. There are legal terms that you, as an individual who is not a legal practitioner, may not understand. They are the ones who are looking into it and explain to you and say, see, oh, this property you are buying, these are the things involved. These are legal implications that are in the property. Do you understand? Okay. So undisclosed heirs, if a previous owner died without a clear will, unknown heirs can claim ownership rights. This can be a major problem in polygamous family settings. I think we discussed this previously. The fact that the son or daughter of a man or a woman who is the deceased is presenting a document to you, say this property belongs to me or belong to my father or my mother, I want you to buy it. No. Do you understand me? The fact that he's a child of a deceased parent does not give him ownership of the land. The man or woman must have left a will and said, this property belongs to this. I think we have also seen in recent time where family members, they are taking themselves to court over property that their parents left for them behind. This is coming because who is to inherit the property was not properly stated, and the family members, they cannot come to terms with how they are going to go about sharing the property. Do you understand? So, and this is more complicated when is a polygamous setting. Do you understand? Somebody will die and family members, they are fighting over who owns the property. So it could be a very serious title problem. Then fraud or forgery, fraudulent transfers of funds, forgery of documents in any form, and illicit funds. So let's say you are buying a property from somebody and the person, in the course of getting the property in the first place, the person was involved in fraudulent transfer of funds. Do you understand what I mean by fraudulent transfer of funds? Do you understand me? If you are buying property, that's why sometimes, and this is why we are giving people form. If somebody come to our place to buy property, we want to know the person very well. We ask for his ID card. We ask for so many information about the person. We are just trying to do what? To protect ourselves. Because if the person, somebody use fraudulent means to pay you for a property, you could be in trouble. Do you understand me? And even the title of the property will be in jeopardy. Then illicit funds, drug funds. So these are some of the things that in the course of acquiring a property, if all these things are involved, the title of the property will start having problem. Do you understand? Then mortgage related issue. If a previous mortgage was not properly discharged, it can still create a cloud on the title. Check for any outstanding issue with mortgage company. Do you understand? So if you are buying a property that the owner used mortgage to acquire, don't just stop there. Try to reach out to the mortgage company and find out if there's any issue at all. Is there any outstanding? It may just be even, may not be fun. It may be signing of some document that is required to perfect the property. Do you understand? Then next. Okay, zoning restrictions. Although zoning is more related to land use, changes in zoning can affect the title and the allowed use of the land. So what we are trying to say here is this. We know that zoning has to do with land use, but how does it affect the title? Let's say you bought a place, the thing was residential before, and then government changed the zoning arrangement. They say this place is now to be used as industry. Can you see that the title is also affected? Do you understand? Because the land title, if you take a typical title, let's say R of O or C of O, what the land is to be used is properly explained there. So if the use is changed, it will create a problem for the title and it will make it difficult for you to sell the property. Do you understand? Okay. So why is title so important? One, real estate is immobile. The first proof that you can own it is what? The title. I think we have discussed this, but we'll continue to talk about it over and over again because for me, as I said before, they are saying location, but if the title is wrong, you don't have property in the first place. So a good title is a prerequisite for a smooth transaction. Do you understand me? Today now, some of our colleagues are not here. They are going to check our title document at ages. Those are part of what? The due diligence. We are very, very proud anytime anybody say, okay, bring the document you want to check. But if the title is not correct, some issues will start coming up. So it is for you to sell or buy easily. The title must be what? Must be correct. There's no two ways about it. Title problem can delay or prevent real estate sale. That's we all know that. Do you understand me? Then required by financial institution to access facility. Let's say you want to use your land or your house to get facility from bank to finance a project. Is the title that they will first of all ask you to bring. It is when you bring the title, they sit down in the office, carry out all the due diligence, check the papers. That is when they will even say, okay, let us go and see the property physically. Do you understand? Then buyers want assurance that they are acquiring clear ownership of the property. Nobody wants to buy a property that has title problem. Do you understand? Because in some cases, there are some of them could be minor. If it is a mistake in spelling that can easily be corrected, fine. But if you find yourself that somebody that sold, a family member that sold a property to you is not the rightful owner, or other family members are not carried along, it will be a very, very difficult problem to solve. Do you understand me? Especially when the other parties are not ready to come to negotiating table. Next slide. Okay, so how to handle title related problems? Please, I know that in the past 2 sections, we have discussed how to handle objections and all that, about price, about location. But please, what I'm trying to say here is this. Don't even get involved in a property that have title problem in the first place. So how do you do this? Conduct thorough search on the property and avoid any real estate that has the title problem that cannot be resolved easily. Do you understand? If it is that somebody's name was not correctly spelled, I think that one can be handled easily. But if the property was bought with fraudulent fund, the law enforcement agency will descend on you and the property. Then secondly, use professional at every stage of the buying process. If you want to conduct search, for example, there are professionals who can help you to do that. The small fee you will pay them will save you a lot of trouble. Do you understand? Then if you did all the due diligence and still find yourself in a title related problem, seek legal counsel. Let us be frank. It is possible that you can still do all your due diligence, everything. You have tried your best as a human being to conduct due diligence on a property, but problem can still arise in the future, something that you did not know, especially when the person that is selling the property to you did not disclose some information. Do you understand? Because if you are carrying due diligence, you are working with based on the information that you are giving, based on the document that you are presented to you. If any of the documents are forged, you may not know. Even if you involve a lawyer, it may be difficult for you to find out, except at later stage when problems start coming. So if you find yourself in that kind of situation, all you need to do is to look for a legal practitioner, especially those who specialize in property. They will advise you properly. So please, this is where we come to the end of today's training. So this partnership opportunity with the Mark Group, you can visit our website or contact us on the number on the screen. Thank you very much for watching this video. If the video made sense to you, please hit the notification bell so that each time I release a video like this, you'll be the first person to be notified. Thank you very much for watching this video.